ਸੋ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੈਨ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਕੈਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਫੈਸਟ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ 'ਚ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਉਹ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਕਬੱਡੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਵੀ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਰਹੇਗਾ। ਸਬਰੰਗ ਰੇਡੀਓ 94.7 FM ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੰਡੇ ਟਿਊਜ਼ਡੇ ਥਰਸਡੇ ਫਰਾਈਡੇ 7 ਤੋਂ 8 ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਸੰਡੇ 1 ਵਜੇ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 5 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਹੋ। ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਇਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਰਹੇਗਾ। ਇਹ 'ਚ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਜਾਰੀ ਰੱਖਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਿਣ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਫਿਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ ਕਿ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਤੇ ਆ ਜਾਣਾ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ, ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਚਲਾ ਗਿਆ। ਸੋ ਫੇਸਬੁੱਕ ਵਾਲੇ ਦੋਸਤਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਕਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਮਾਈਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਫੁੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ। ਸੋ ਮੋਸਟਲੀ ਟੀਵੀ ਸੈੱਟ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਮਾਈਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਦੈਟਸ ਵਾਈ so now we have everything ready.
Okay.
So let's start it over here. This is mic 2 3 yes perfect. So live ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਣ 'ਚ ਵੈਸੇ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਆ। ਸਬਰੰਗ ਰੇਡੀਓ 94.7 ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਲਿਸਨਰਸ ਦਾ ਵਾਂਸ ਅਗੇਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੋਸਤ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਕੈਨ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਏ ਆ। So Ken, once again welcome to Sabrang Radio.
It's a pleasure to be here again and to continue talking about GlobalFest.
Yes, so GlobalFest, how is GlobalFest going on? So
we're a week away.
Yes.
And so we're working night and day.
Yes.
And but it's very exciting. There's a lot of work to do yet before we open next week Thursday.
Yeah, I think it's almost no, it's exactly 1 week away from the event. So that's awesome. And today I went to your office to pick up the passes.
Okay,
for
yeah.
Media passes, and everyone was working so hard, and so this thing I can see momentum how it's building up.
Now you probably saw a bunch of the staff watching the Olympics at the same time.
Yes.
So we're sort of somewhat caught. Some of the staff they're in the boardroom. Yes. And they're watching the Olympics on the big screen while they're working away. And so every once in a while I'll pop in to say, so do we have another gold medal?
Yes. Yeah, no, definitely. Today we have like 21 medals already.
Yeah, which is great.
We are expecting more because I think Newman she set up the record for Canada, even though she was able to win first time bronze in the vault.
Right.
Vault. But there are a lot of good stuff happen for Canadians.
Yet to happen. Yeah, no,
yes.
Absolutely. Yet to happen.
So we are like very proud of our sports persons. Those are playing there and bringing a lot of medals for us. But there is sometimes shame also which is coming through that soccer teams, you know, that they did something which is not right.
Right.
And today I saw the NDP MP, so she's asking them to come in front of the parliament to explain what happened exactly, how long these people are putting the drone on the other people's players,
right.
Other players.
And so I mean I feel for the athletes in that position because the athletes really have that's not their thing. It is and my understanding is from just what I've heard a little bit that it's not just the women's soccer team but you look at other sports and you go to a football game and they're covering their mouths, and so there's so many different angles to trying to find that competitive edge.
Yes.
But I think fairness in sport, fairness in everything. It shouldn't just be sport, but fairness in everything. Whatever we're doing, the competition goes so far, and then what is the right thing? That's a hard question to answer.
Yes, no, definitely that's very good way of putting the things. And as a Canadian, expectations are very high from us. As a Canadian, we are not like a normal human being on the earth. We have a very high standard of ethics and
and how we
how we-
how we carry ourselves, how we treat
Yes.
other people, the
Yes.
expectations that are there. And you touched on something, being Canadian, and I think
Yes.
I want to talk to you a little bit about that.
Yes.
Because you became Canadian by choice.
Yes.
I'm Canadian by birth.
Yes.
I'm second generation Canadian. My first language is not English, it's German. But my grandparents and great grandparents, when they came from just outside of the Odessa area, they fled to somewhere. So, they ended up in Canada, and so they changed their lives. And so we've all got these stories, and having that citizenship ceremony at Elliston Park, we've had over 1,250 people become Canadian citizens at a GlobalFest event, and that is such an important thing. And I mentioned to people, when I talk about it, I still get shivers, because I think I learnt my pride as a Canadian through hearing other people's stories of why they came to Canada, some by choice, some having to flee where they were, and then the journey. And everybody's journey was so different. But to make that conscious choice to say, for me, for my family, for my children, or whomever, however, this is the place where we want to be, and to make it happen. It is a wonderful thing, and to celebrate that. So I'm just wondering if you can share a little bit of your story.
Yes, definitely. I think that's what very good thing. Let me explain a little bit in Punjabi also.
Sure.
Because ਆਪਾਂ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਐਕਸਪੈਕਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਹਾਈ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਜੇ I still remember when CBC was interviewing one guy in I think in Russia they were talking about the Olympics or some other games, but some Americans were wearing Canadian T-shirts. So they asked them, why you are American, why you are wearing? They said the people treat them nicely when you tell them, okay, you are Canadian.
Yeah.
They understand, like we are from a land where we love each other, we are having a good reputation all over the world. So I think that's why we choose to be Canadian instead of any other part of the world go and be, because we both are professional. My wife and I we graduated as engineers.
Okay.
She did masters, but
Right.
We were having an option to go other part of the country as well, but we decided Canada is a land where we can raise our family or our kids, and the culture and everything is so good, and we are still so proud of all these things, whatever we achieve in a few years. And I think a lot of our friends and families, those came over here, and then they are glad they did that. Some people I have seen, like they go back home and spread the message, oh, Canada is so much stress, so much this and that, because they ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਵੈਸੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ ਹੱਥ ਨਾ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਥੂ ਕੋੜੀ ਵਾਲਾ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਉਹ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਾੜਾ ਬੋਲਣ ਲੱਗ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ। ਬਟ ਇਸ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਐਪਰੀਸ਼ੀਏਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਗੇਨ ਕੀਤਾ। ਇਹ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੀ ਧਰਤੀ ਤੇ ਆਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਹੀ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਅਚੀਵ ਹੋ ਪਾਉਂਦਾ, ਨਾ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਉੱਥੇ I still remember one time Indian officials, I started Canada India International Expo.
Okay.
And they said, why you are not putting the name as the Indo-Canadian International Expo? And I said, because this idea is coming from the Canadian land, and I am Canadian citizen, so that's why Canada is first Canada. It's a Canada India International Expo. It's not an Indo-Canadian. I don't know whether I am right or wrong, but Canada is first for me.
Okay.
So because now I have choose this country, even though India, where I born, I did all my activities and all these things. I love India, but when I am here, I have a lot of respect and responsibilities also among the as a Canadian citizen.
So, and as a Canadian citizen, you can still own your heritage.
Yes.
Of being from South Asia, from India, or from Bangladesh, or from wherever anybody is, it's nice that you don't have to. It's not about assimilation. It's not about that melting pot. I look at Canada more like a stew. There's all kinds of different ingredients, and they're all chunky. Yes. And so you see the potatoes, you see the tomatoes, the lettuce, the celery, the meat, all of that stuff. And so you're identifying those things, but it's still stew. So just to your point, being Canadian is kind of like being in a bowl, a pot of soup, of stew, where there are all of these things that all work together. And that, I think, is also part of the responsibility of being Canadian, is to be responsible to if that integration, that all of that stuff, that peaceful and working together, all that harmony, if that's important to a person's journey to become Canadian, that also needs to be how they carry themselves and how they move forward as well as a member of the Canadian society.
Definitely, क्योंकि जिदा कहने क्या भी ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਸੂਪ ਦੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਵਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਧੀਆ ਸੂਪ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਚ ਐਡ ਹੁੰਦਾ but definitely I can see you run GlobalFest for so long and you have a lots of experience of many different cultures, diverse cultures, other than just because I also know few cultures, even though I am new immigrant, I came here, but even though you born here, but still you have a lot of exposure because you choose to run a GlobalFest and doing all the activities here. Any experience you want to share of any culture, maybe if you like to?
You know, I to your story of the American athletes wearing Canadian T-shirts, and I graduated from high school in Paris, but I didn't go to school in Paris. It was a trip through school, but we all had our Canadian flags, our little patches identifying ourselves. A few years later, I went with 6 friends, and we did the same thing. We wanted people to know that we were Canadian, and so it really does sort of it. But it bothers me when I hear of other people trying to pass themselves off as Canadian. It's like, if that's important to you, what are you doing to change the way you deal with people, to have them give you the kind of respect that you think that you're wanting to have. And so I've been able to travel various parts of the world, and I've been the only part of Asia that I've been to is South Korea, which was very interesting. And I think the most unique place I was at was, and I was there twice, was Cairo. And I was with Alberta Ballet at that time, and we were performing at the Cairo Opera House. And so it was really interesting to meet some of the Egyptian people. And I went into a market, and people have been traveling that market, and they've been selling their wares for thousands of years, so many years longer than Canada has ever been around. I'm walking on stones that, how many millions, hundreds of millions of people have walked on over all of that time. And we're such a young country. And what I love is to go into some of those older parts of the world where culture is so rich and it's so ingrained. And it's like the spices. Our spices in Canada are pretty bland, in comparison to, for lunch, we were at the Thai boat restaurant. Some of those dishes were pretty hot. Yeah. And one of my friends was sweating. The spice was so hot. And I'm going, wow. But it's those things all really, to me, are amazing. It's those things that are different. And being open to experience that and to understand. When I was in Helsinki, I had raw reindeer. So reindeer in Canada is Christmas, and it's Rudolph the reindeer. Yes. And the red-nosed reindeer. You don't think about eating Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer for dinner. Yeah. And I was having him raw. And it's a wonderful experience. Yes. And
that's awesome, like going all over the culture. So क्यों आप गलबात कर रहे हैं क्योंकि ਕੈਨ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਹੈ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਫੈਸਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 1250 ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਹੈ, ਤਾਂ 50 people will be getting citizenship on that day. So that's why we are sharing the cultures and countries and everything, and the people from the diverse countries now they are adopting Canadian citizenship, and some people spread the message of Canadian, less students are coming, less this is happening, but data shows it's not stopping. We have already in lots of people, I think more than 2.5 million applications are still pending for people to come here as a different categories.
Yep.
So Canada's brand is still very high, and it will remain, because as long as people will be respecting our culture and maintaining the decorum and everything.
Yeah. Can we do a better job? Absolutely. Yes. When I think about the challenges that some people face, some families face when they come to Canada, sometimes I think, was it the right choice? Because we're not doing as good a job as we can as Canadians to open the doors for people to practice their trades, their knowledge, their professions. And I encourage the government officials whenever I meet them to say, how can we do this better? How can we help people who are coming to Canada who have all of these skills, and they have to have these to come in as immigrants.
Yes.
And yet somehow it's on the paper, but as soon as they come here, it means nothing.
Yes,
and you have to start from the very beginning. So I applaud all of those individuals who work so hard to get to that. And what I encourage, and there's a group in Calgary, if I can mention them, they're the Calgary Region Immigrant Council, CRIAC, Employment Council, and it's all about mentorship. So they have individuals like yourself who have been here for a while, have found success, and to pair you with somebody who's new to the country, who's looking to find that path. And so to have somebody who's done that and has found success, however they've found success, those are the things that make Canada, for me, an exciting place for the new Canadians that come in, because that gives me hope.
No, definitely that's wonderful जी। ਆਪਾਂ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਅੱਜ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਪਏ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ 50 ਇੰਡੀਵਿਜੂਅਲਸ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ oath ਚੁਕਾਈ ਜਾਏਗੀ, certificates will be given to the citizenship.
Yes. Yep.
And out of 1250, me and my wife are also one of those got the citizenship during the Global Fest. So ਜਿਹੜੇ 50 ਆਣਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚੋਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਚੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਫੈਸਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਦੀ oath ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ, ਐਂਡ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਰਟੀਫਿਕੇਟ ਵੀ ਲਓਗੇ। ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ I think now we will come out of the citizenship ceremony. We will talk a little bit more about the Global Fest.
Let's talk about the date for the citizenship ceremony, because I don't think we mentioned that.
Yes.
So that's Tuesday night, August the 20th. Okay. And the nation that's presenting fireworks that night is Mexico. Okay. But GlobalFest starts in a week, as you mentioned. And so the gates open at 6 o'clock every night. Okay. And we have 3 performance stages. We have all of the different ethnic food that is happening. We have food trucks with food from all over the world. We have the cultural pavilions and the passport pursuit opportunity with, again, a chance to win a trip anywhere in the world that Air Canada flies. So, and I want people to take advantage of that and learn about that. And then, of course, every night we end off with fireworks. Now, we heard something that's new, that's changed for this year. We cannot postpone one night of GlobalFest this year, because the police and all the business units don't have enough people to allow us to postpone a show and go the next night. So whenever night we are scheduled to go, we have to go. So if it's going to rain, rain or shine, absolutely. Yeah. Well, we don't want it to shine when the fireworks are going on, but we don't want it to hail or anything like that either. Yes. And if that happens, then we have a harder decision to make. Yes. But we may push the fireworks show a little early if there's a weather situation that we're trying to avoid, or we could move the fireworks as late as 10:30 if we wait for a system to pass by. So please check the weather forecast. It gets cold at night, so bring a jacket along. And if it looks like it's going to be wet, you're not going to melt. I'm not going to melt.
Yes,
You know, it's only water, and we're going into water restrictions again, so we should all be doing rain dances. Whenever it rains between now and the 26th of August, we need to be doing the rain dance because we want as much rain as we can because, you know, we're going into stage 4 restrictions again. And that's 2 days after GlobalFest. So we're very lucky. I think that they held off.
Maybe
So
they did it because of the GlobalFest.
Well, us and all the other festivals that are going on, because there's a Dragon Boat Festival this weekend, and there's all kinds of stuff that's going on. But yeah, so we start on Thursday with with Spain, returning champion. Saturday is going to be Brazil. Tuesday the 20th is going to be Mexico, as I said. The United States will be on the 22nd, and then there's the GlobalFest finale on the 24th. And then we'll be announcing the winners, and then what happens in 2025. We'll be making that announcement on the 24th. And I'm just trying to think. Oh, shuttles. We encourage people to park at Sunridge Mall, and then Southland will be running shuttles, and I think the shuttle fee is $7, and that will get you from Sunridge Mall to Elliston Park, and then back to Sunridge Mall. So, and because there's no parking around Elliston Park. So really important to take advantage of that. The buses, Calgary Transit does have 3 bus lines that go by Elliston Park. So if you want to take your transit and use your transit pass, you can do that now. They've been better at getting more buses there. And tickets, globalfest.ca, and or go to Sunridge Mall and you can buy your tickets right there. And any more questions? Have I forgotten anything?
No, I think that's wonderful. And ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਦੱਸਦਾ ਵੀ ਇਹ 5 ਨਾਈਟਾਂ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ ਜੋ ਕ੍ਰੂਸ਼ਲ ਫੈਕਟਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੈਨ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਵਾਰੀ ਕੈਂਸਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਇਵੈਂਟ ਵੀ ਕੈਂਸਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਅੱਗੇ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਏ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਸਾਰਾ ਸਟਾਫ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਜਾਂ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ all the things are not possible to do that. So that's why most probably 99% ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ unless it's a very nature is so bad against us and we will go, otherwise ਉਸੇ ਦਿਨ ਹੀ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਇਹ ਨਾਈਟ ਸ਼ੋ. ਸੋ ਜੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਦਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਵੈਦਰ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਬਾਰਿਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਆ ਕੇ. ਬਾਰਿਸ਼ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਓ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਰੇਨ ਡਾਂਸ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉੱਥੇ ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਐਂਡ ਐਲਬਰਟਨਸ, we are like awesome people on the earth. So right now
we are a hardy nation. Weather won't stop us.
Yes, so that's why we are so successful all over the world because whatever hardships we have seen here from the weather, and now we face a lot of challenges because of this water feeder and all, but it's coming back. ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੋਸਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ 26 ਤਰੀਕ ਤੋਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਰਿਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਸ਼ਨ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਰਿਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਵਲ 4 ਦੀਆਂ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਾਣੀ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਬਟ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕਾਫੀ ਇਵੈਂਟਸ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ 26 ਤਰੀਕ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਸ਼ਨ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਤੇ 28 ਤਰੀਕ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਇੰਪਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਹੋਣਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ. ਰਿਪੇਅਰ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਏਗੀ, ਕਾਫੀ ਨਵੇਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ 12 ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਵੇਂ ਲੱਭੇ, ਹਾਲੇ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਲੱਭਣਗੇ, ਬਟ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਚੱਲੇਗੀ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਇਨ ਦਾ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਵਾਈ ਇਟਸ ਹੈਪਨਿੰਗ ਲਾਈਕ ਦਿਸ ਟੂ ਅਸ. ਬਟ ਸੋ ਫਾਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਦੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ 15 ਤਰੀਕ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਣ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਫੈਸਟ. 15 ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੇ 5 ਦਿਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ 15th 17th
20th 22nd and the 24th.
So 24th ਤੱਕ ਚੱਲੇਗਾ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਦਿਨ ਫਾਈਨਲ ਹੋਏਗਾ. ਸੋ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਦਿਨ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਇੱਕ ਉੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਾਸਪੋਰਟ ਮਿਲੇਗਾ, ਪਾਸਪੋਰਟ ਟਿਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਾਈਨਲੀ 에ਅਰ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੀ ਟਿਕਟ ਐਨੀਵੇਅਰ ਇਨ ਦਾ ਵਰਲਡ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੇ 2 ਲੋਕਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਜੇ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਿਨਰ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਰਨਰ ਅਪ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਲ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ. ਸੋ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ globalfest.ca ਤੇ ਵਿਜ਼ਿਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਟਿਕਟਾਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਜਾਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਬੜੇ ਸਿਆਣੇ ਹੋ. ਜੇ ਹੋਰ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਪਿਛਲਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਫੇਸਬੁੱਕ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਪ੍ਰੀਵੀਅਸ ਵਨ ਇਜ਼ ਆਲਸੋ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ, ਸੋ ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਗੋ ਦੇਅਰ ਐਂਡ ਵਾਚ ਇਟ ਐਂਡ get the information from there.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much, Ken. So today we have a very tight schedule and so great to see you in the studio once again.
And thank you so much for inviting me back.
Yes.
And I'm glad you are feeling better.
Yes, I
And
am.
we all need to take care of ourselves and everybody around us. And so thank you to all of your listeners,
Yes.
whether it's on the radio or on their digital devices. And, think about GlobalFest, but do more than think. Come. Tickets are available. We're not sold out yet. I would love to be sold out. That would be a wonderful problem to have. So let's do that as a challenge.
Yes. So thank you very much, Ken, once again. Very nice to see you. Ken is always smiling, always working hard. So ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ ਜੀ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਟਿਕਟਾਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ we have to go there and enjoy the show and help the GlobalFest as well. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਇਧਰਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਰੁੱਖ ਮੋੜ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਇੱਕ ਖਬਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਖਬਰ ਸੁਣ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਰੀ ਰੱਖਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਾਪਸ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਬਰੰਗ ਰੇਡੀਓ 94.7 ਤੇ ਜੀ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਰਾਤ ਤੱਕ
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, and it's wonderful to have you back again.
Well, and I look forward to you joining us at the park.
Yes,